Hi, my name's Barbara Ellen Diggs, and I'm a crafts person here in Decatur. And today I'd like to speak with you, our Junior Chamber of Commerce, on the critical importance of crafts in our culture. Before I discovered crafts, I suffered from clinical depression and had no self-esteem. But now my artwork travels statewide, and I do a workshop at our local women's prisons where a lady who could have slaughtered her whole entire family now makes note cards, personalized with sequins and dried corn. I have invented over 512 different items for Christmas bazaars, including doorknob covers. I also deeply enjoy scrapbooking. Some sophisticated people say crafts aren't art, but by the same token, some people say New Yorkers aren't people. Crafts allow me to express myself and to create something worth discussing. For every individual, there's a different method of getting through and moving on. In the following selection, we see a mother grieving over the loss of her son through the creation of art. In her own way, she's getting through this and helping others understand along the way. Crafting by Paul Rednock. My family's always been very supportive of my hobbies, well, except for my son, whom I loved. Hank was always very special. He'd scold me for using words like that and, what did he call them? Euphemisms. He always used to say stuff like, Mom, I'm gay, and I say, no, you're not, you're just, special. And he'd say, no, that makes me sound like a handicap, and I'd say, I wish, and we'd just laugh. And it never really bothered me, though, that he moved to New York to become some fancy Broadway costume designer. And he didn't come home all too often, so we'd ride back and forth, and he'd send me all these beautiful beads and babes and trims from the costumes, and I had no idea what to do with them. But to thank him, I'd send him Hummel figurines. You know, those cute little children holding umbrellas and petting kittens. He used to get so mad over the phone. He'd say, Ma, don't send me stuff that you can order off the TV, which upset me, so to express that, I sent him a sad Hummel clown. This time he got really mad. He'd say, Mom, Hummel was originally made by Nazis, and I said to him, no, they were not. They were made by German nuns who didn't read the newspaper. I know you're still wearing white t-shirts and Levi's, but I remember when you didn't shrink them. If homosexuality is genetic, then maybe so is home shopping. And then he got sick, and I flew to the hospital to see him. And do you know what I brought him? Nothing. I knew it upset him, and I didn't want to embarrass him in front of all of his friends who are all so sweet. And they're all so kind to Hank, and they all kept on hugging and kissing on me and kept on saying, Hank, your mom's a hoot. A hoot? That means I wear polyester without irony. Anyway, when me and Hank were finally alone, he looked up at me and said, well, Ma, what did you bring me? A pot holder, a picture frame? And I looked at him, and I'd say, no, I didn't bring you anything. And I knew it upset you. I knew it always made you feel like cake. And he leaned back into his pillow and said, oh, it's okay. I just wanted to see you. And I stayed there until let's use a euphemism there. Until he passed on. Maybe that's why euphemisms were created. Not because people were ashamed, but because people hated the word, and I hated that word, and I hated that disease, and for the longest time I didn't touch a thing, not a pin, not a bobbin, not a pair of shears. I would not bring beauty or crack into this cruel world. I was just too sad. Then one day, I saw this quilt on the television, all spread out in front of the Capitol. 27 square feet for each man, woman, and child, and I looked at it and thought, my God, it's a funeral home for the Ladies' Home Journal. But it inspired me to get all the things that Hankin sent me, and I went down to Newberry's, and I got a triangle of hot pink felt, and I got some embroidery thread, and I sewed his name into one of his favorite t-shirts that says, no one knows I'm gay. And I got one of those labels that says, especially handmade for you by Barbara Ellen Diggs. And I placed it on there, and I folded it up, and I sent it away. So Lord knows where it is now. But that was all ages ago, and now they have all that new medicine, so some people can keep on going. And people have come up with whole new ways of hurting each other. A couple years later, I went back to New York because I was a finalist in a cake baking competition. I thought I had a chance with my Easter Sunday extravaganza. I had a lemon meringue sheet cake, frosted to look like Da Vinci's Last Supper, except for the apostles were either chocolate bunnies or marshmallow peeps. I lost. And the city reminded me of Hank. I couldn't go downtown because that's where he lived. But I went down to Central Park, and they were having this, I don't know what it was really. Some people called it an installation by this French artist named Christo. He goes all around the world wrapping landmarks in fabric, and I'm not kidding. There are these hundreds of thousands of archways hanging from these aluminum gates, and I didn't know what it was that made it feel so special. And I stood there, and the breeze was blowing, and the sun came out. It was very beautiful, but it didn't make any sense. I started to feel a little bit cheerier. My friend Susan Denmark said, maybe you found closure. And I looked Susan straight in the eye and said, Susan, Oprah is just a person. But I started to feel happier, I guess, and I started making sock monkeys for our local hospitals and hanging them on the patient's IV stands, because maybe when a sick person sees a sock monkey, they'll smile. I made this for a lady that I met in New York. We kept in touch over the years. Matilda Doverment. I'm going to send it to her. I don't know what I believe in anymore. But I do believe in cute. I believe in glue. I believe in crafts. And maybe if I was a New Yorker, I'd believe in orange shower curtains hanging in Central Park. Amen.